The Veterans Guest House was founded when two veterans, Chuck Fulkerson and Dick Rhino, realized that veterans and their family members were sleeping in cars while visiting area hospitals because they didn't have the means to stay anywhere else. In 1994, the first house was leased, and a lot has happened since then.
The way this started was some veterans and retired military. They tell me they were having meetings at the VA. I think they were going to the canteen for breakfast, okay? That's what I think they were really doing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. They were coming across the parking lot at the VA hospital in the mornings, and they would see that the windows were fogged up. That could only mean one thing, and that somebody stayed in that car. And one morning, a woman was getting out of one of these cars, and they asked her, what was going on. She and her children had spent the night in the car. They were from Bishop. Her husband was in the ICU at the hospital, and they had nowhere to go. They knew no one in the Reno-Sparks area, and they had no means to go get a hotel room. And those gentlemen with some others said, never again on our watch is this going to occur. And that was the inception of what you see today, which is the Veterans Guest House.
Learning quickly that more than just the spouses needed assistance from the guest house, space was added to the original house. It currently has 12 beds and over 4,000 square feet. But needing even more space over the years, they've acquired the house next door, adding 5 additional beds.
The original house actually, and you'll see there, we have a photo of it here in the house, and it actually has a sign that says spouse house, because they really thought it was the families. It was the wives primarily who needed a place to stay when their husband was in the hospital. What they found out and what we found out is it's not just the families, it's also the veterans themselves. Those other windows were fogged up because you had veterans sleeping in them. And that's not where the men and women that have served this country should be. They should be getting taken care of.
The Veterans Guest House does not receive any federal or state funding, so these expansions were made possible from the community that loves them so much.
They do so much for us. I could go on forever about the things that we have and the support we have in this community.
I've always been thrilled at the way you guys are received. I mean, I know in some areas it's not like that, and I feel that our community oftentimes gets behind things in a big way, and you're one of them.
They definitely have.
People are often confused about who qualifies to use the Veterans Guest House and what areas they actually service. The guest house was intended for families of veterans as well as veterans themselves. These people need medical care but do not live close to a hospital. We also want to clarify that you don't have to be receiving treatment from the VA hospital to use the services at the Veterans Guest House.
We have kind of 3 criteria, and again, we'll talk in generalities, and if someone's listening and says, well, I wonder if I qualify in there, give us a call. But the first one is a veteran who's an outpatient and needing outpatient treatment. So that's the first one. The second one is the family of a veteran who's hospitalized. Those are the veterans can stay with us when their immediate family member is ill. So if a spouse is in St. Mary's or Renown or Northern Nevada or anywhere else in town, they can come and stay with us during that time frame.
So if a veteran's wife, for example, is
Correct.
having cancer therapy or open heart surgery or anything like that, the veteran can stay here so that he can be close to his spouse or her spouse.
Right, and the spouse can stay with us if they're going through therapy.
So a lot of these people don't live close by.
No,
so it's
they
not
don't.
like they can just go home at night.
No, they don't. I mean, if you're getting radiation treatment, yes, it's as I understand it, fortunately I don't know, but you're in for 10 minutes and you're out the door. But are you going to drive back and forth to Winnemucca every day? If we weren't here, I truly believe there are a lot of people who would not get their medical care because they can't afford to be away from home, pay for a hotel. They can't sleep in a car for 8 weeks if they're having radiation treatment. So I think a lot of them would avoid their treatment.
The Veterans Hospital has projected that our service area will increase from 120,000 to 160,000 veterans being serviced by the year 2020. That's only 7 years away. With the current houses already operating at full capacity, the need for another expansion is in the very near future. The Veterans Guest House reaches out to the community every year with their annual radiothon. In 2013, it will fall on Saturday, March the 2nd.
Coming up on March 2nd, we'll be on KOH Radio, KOH 780 Radio all day. They're our marvelous partners. We've been with them. This is the 10th annual radiothon.
What do you need people to do on that day?
Call up. call us, call in, listen to the radio, call in. We'll have, you can call in a donation. You call in, you can use your credit card, you can pledge it, pay it, you can, we have people now, because we've been doing it a while, they'll call in and pledge $1,200 or something and send us the $100 every month.
Oh, over the year.
Yeah, or they'll just pledge, I'll send you $20 every month or $25 every month till I decide to stop.
In addition to the Radiothon, there are many ways you can support the Veterans Guest House. Please don't hesitate to contact them for information. And if your loved ones need services from the house, please contact them as well. They look at every situation on a case-by-case basis, and I can assure you they are here to help. In closing, I asked Noreen only one last question. If you could tell the community one thing, what would it be?
I'd tell them thank you. I would tell them that they are taking care of the men and women who have taken care of us.
Now you're gonna make me cry.
I'm about to. So, and that's what I would say is thank you very much, and we can only ask you to continue to support us. And if there's anything we can do for you, let us know.